The Last Undressing. Elliot Knox woke up in a cold sweat, the morning sun spilling through the blinds, illuminating the chaos of his small apartment. He looked around, confusion washing over him. Tools were strewn about, screwdrivers, pliers, and a dull butter knife. The remnants of last night's madness lay scattered like clues to a crime he didn't remember committing. "What happened?" he muttered, rubbing his temples, trying to piece together the jigsaw puzzle of his memory. He felt constricted in his clothes as if they were a second skin, and an urgent need to shed them overwhelmed him. But that's where the problem lay. He had forgotten how to undress. Elliot bolted upright, scanning the room for something, anything that could help him. He grabbed a pair of pliers and stared at them with desperation. How had he come to this? The world outside his window seemed so far away, and yet the need to escape from himself felt more urgent than ever. He fumbled with the buttons of his shirt, but his fingers trembled. They felt foreign, as if they belonged to someone else. Panic surged through him, and he tried to remember the last time he had simply taken off his clothes. It seemed like a lifetime ago. In the corner of the room, a mirror caught his eye, reflecting his disheveled hair and wild eyes. "Come on, Elliot, think," he chided himself. He held the pliers up to his shirt, contemplating whether he could pry the fabric apart. As he made the first cut, the fabric snagged, sending a jolt of pain through his fingers. "No, no!" he cried out. Blood welled up from a small cut, mixing with the fabric of his shirt. He dropped the pliers in frustration. Why was this so difficult? His thoughts spiraled. Last night had been a blur of voices and shadows, a party that devolved into madness. He had seen something terrible. But what? The memory danced just out of reach, tantalizingly close yet forever elusive. Desperate, he rummaged through the scattered tools, each one a potential solution to his predicament. A screwdriver caught his attention. He grabbed it, hoping that maybe, just maybe, he could use it to unscrew the buttons of his shirt. He thrust the screwdriver into the first button, the metal biting into the fabric. He twisted, and the button popped off, clattering to the floor. "Yes!" he exclaimed, emboldened. But that exhilaration was short-lived. He realized the shirt was still stuck to him, the remnants of the fabric clinging to his skin like a parasite. He glanced at the mirror again, a wild man staring back at him. A sense of urgency surged within him. "I can do this," he muttered, a strange resolve forming. He turned back to the pile of tools, his heart racing as he picked up a hammer, seeing if he could break the clothing apart like it were an eggshell. With a few powerful strikes, he managed to loosen more buttons, but the remaining fabric clung stubbornly to him, mocking his efforts. His mind raced. The party. Had something happened? Was it him? Was he the madman who had caused chaos? He needed to focus. He grabbed a pair of wire cutters and aimed them at the cuffs of his sleeves. Snipping away at the fabric, he felt a surge of exhilaration, as if he were tearing down walls that had confined him for too long. But then a wave of dizziness hit him. The world spun, and he staggered back, nearly toppling over. He clutched the edge of the table for support. There was a flicker of movement in the mirror, and he spun around to see a shadow lurking in the hallway. "Who's there?" he called out, fear creeping into his voice. Silence. He glanced back at the mirror, but the reflection looked different now. Darker, more menacing. "This is all in your head, Elliot," he whispered, trying to steady his racing heart. But the shadow lingered, a reminder of the unseen horrors that had unfolded last night. He returned to his task, ripping at his shirt with a newfound desperation. He knew he needed to get out of this skin, this prison of fabric and self. The wire cutters clattered to the floor as he picked up the butter knife, a strange sense of hope mingling with dread. Perhaps with enough force he could slice through the very essence of his confinement. With trembling hands, he pressed the dull blade against the fabric of his shirt, working it back and forth. Come on," he urged, sweat trickling down his forehead. The fabric finally gave way, tearing open to reveal skin beneath. It was both liberating and terrifying. Suddenly, the door burst open, and a figure entered. A friend, someone from the party. Mark stood in the doorway, eyes wide with shock. "Elliot, what the hell are you doing?" Elliot stumbled back, fear flashing through him. I can't get it off. I can't remember how." He held up the butter knife, waving it frantically. "Put that down," Mark shouted, his voice laced with urgency. You're going to hurt yourself. Elliot's gaze flickered between Mark and the tools around him. You don't understand. I need to... But the words fell away as he realized how absurd he sounded. Elliot, listen to me. You're not crazy. You just need to breathe, Mark said, stepping closer, hands raised in a calming gesture. You're fine. We can figure this out together. For a moment, Elliot hesitated. The tools, the madness, it all felt like a dream. He dropped the butter knife, feeling the weight of his actions lift just a little. I don't know what happened last night, he admitted, his voice shaking. I can't remember. Mark stepped forward, wrapping his arms around Elliot. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Just let go of the tools, okay? Elliot nodded, the tension in his body slowly unwinding. As he dropped the last tool, he felt an overwhelming wave of relief wash over him. Maybe he wasn't as lost as he thought. Mark helped him peel away the remnants of his shirt, the fabric falling away like a bad memory. See? That wasn't so hard, he said with a gentle smile. Elliot looked in the mirror again, seeing himself, raw, vulnerable, but free. He could still feel the remnants of panic clawing at the edges of his mind, but he knew he wasn't alone anymore. Whatever had happened last night was a mystery he would unravel with Mark by his side. And as he stood there, stripped of his madness, he realized that sometimes the hardest battles weren't fought with tools or strength, but with the simple act of letting go.